Namaste, good morning, and a very warm welcome to all the observers, viewers watching me through this program. It's me, Sabina Shrestha, your science facilitator. We have already completed around 6 classes till now. We have finished 2 lessons of physics. Those were measurement and velocity and acceleration. So today we are going to start a new lesson from chemistry portion. So I have selected the first lesson of chemistry. It's matter. So you might have learned about this topic in previous classes as well, since junior classes, maybe from class 4, 5, 6, and again in 7. Now we are here again with the same topic, but a bit elaborated, expanded form. With expanded things, more things in it, we are going to learn about matter. So once let's recall what is matter. I think we all remember the definition. Yeah, we can see all the things in our surrounding. Whatever things we see in our surrounding, maybe the camera, maybe television, laptop, table, your sofa, bed, whatever things we see in our surrounding. They may be smaller ones, bigger ones, living, non-living, all these things are matter. So simple definition, what we learned before. Matter is simply considered as any object that has mass. And about mass, we have already learned in measurement lesson as well. We measured mass and all as well. So mass, if any object has mass and that object occupies space, it has some volume. So that object is called as matter. So about matter in detail, we have already learned. So simply the definition I would like to go open. Like matter, they may be in different states. Matter may be in solid state, they may be in liquid state, or matter may also be in gaseous state. Different properties of matter in solid state, liquid state, and gaseous state you already know. So matter, like if we explain about matter, of course, it can be divided into two main groups. Matter may be either pure substance or it may be impure substance. The pure substances, when we learn about pure substances, like if it's a pure substance, like it is made up of only one type of atom or one type of substance. If it does not consist of any other impurities in it, then those substances are called pure substances. It does not consist of any other impurities, any other things mixed in it. Those substances are called pure substances. And if it consists of some other impurities, other substances, they are not mixed properly in a fixed ratio, then those substances are called as impure substances. So what are pure substances then? See, pure substances are those substances like elements. Elements, we'll be studying more about it. You've already learned about this as well. So more about elements and compounds also we'll be learning here separately. Pure substances like elements and compounds. They consist of their own type of atoms, objects in them. They are the pure substances. They do not consist of any other substances mixed in them. So elements and compounds are called as pure substances. And if it consists of other things mixed in it, like you get a little sand and you get a little water, you mix them, a mixture is made. Yeah, so those substances which are mixed together and they are mixed in a random proportion, not a fixed proportion. Those objects are then called as impure substances. Like for example, the best example we can say mixture. Mixture is an impure substances. Let's have a view in a screen. To revise matter. Anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. It may be classified as pure substance and impure substance. Elements and compounds are pure substances, whereas mixture is the type of impure substance. Now another topic we have is about element. So what's element then? See, you can just think of the things in your surrounding. We can see gold, copper, silver, oxygen, maybe hydrogen, though it's not visible. The visible ones and non-visible ones are there. We have element, first of all, the pure substance. Element is a pure substance, which is made up of only one kind of atom. It's made up of only one type of atom. And these elements, they can never be broken down. They can never be changed into any other forms of atoms, any other forms of substances. Like for example, like gold. Gold is a type of element. You cut down gold, you take a small piece of gold or a big piece of gold, you just cut it into the finer and finer pieces till it's visible through your eyes. Otherwise, you go on cutting and go on seeing through microscope until it's not visible. Yeah, it's not visible, and if you observe through it microscope, then that finest particle also consists of gold. It does not consist of silver or maybe iron or carbon, any other. So element is that pure substance which consists of only its own type of atom of which it is made up of. That is why we call it as a pure substance. There are altogether 118 elements found till now. Yeah, more are still under study. So many elements are being found out, are under still study. But till now, 118 have been found, and among them, 92 elements are the ones which were found occurring naturally. They are natural element, and remaining 26 elements. So you can see 118 plus 92, 92 plus 26, altogether 118. So remaining 26 elements, they are the artificially synthesized, artificially or man-made, prepared by scientists in laboratories. They are artificial elements. 26 elements are artificial elements. Elements may be in different form. Elements may be in solid form, they may be in liquid form, and they may be in gaseous form as well. You can see some of the elements. You have seen these elements like iron, copper, gold, silver, aluminium, carbon. So many elements are there. Almost most of the elements found are in solid state. A huge number of elements are found in solid state. These are few examples out of 118 elements. These are few examples of elements which are found in solid state. And mostly these two, you can see mercury and bromine. These two are the elements which are found in liquid state. These are the ones, especially these two are found in liquid state. And like other, so many are found in gaseous state as well. Maybe like hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, helium, neon, all these are the elements which are found in gaseous state. So this is a short revision, short explanation related to element. You have already done about this in previous class also. You might have also studied about first 20 elements of periodic table that we are going to revise here as well. So next topic we have is compound. When two or, I think we all know about compound, yeah? When two or more elements combine. For example, like two or more elements. For example, hydrogen is one element and oxygen is another element. When two or more elements mix together, it forms a new substance. That is called compound. So hydrogen and oxygen combine in a fixed ratio. Yeah? Then it forms a compound, it is water. Yes? So we can define like a compound is a substance. One more example, like sodium and chlorine, for example. Few more examples. Two or more elements combine and they form compound. So sodium and chlorine combine and it forms sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is a compound. So what we can understand from this is two or more elements combine together, and they combine together in a fixed ratio. It's not like how much we like we keep. Yeah, it's not like that. So what we have to remember is two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen, when combines, it forms water, H2O. It's H2O, water. You can see in the slide once. Here, examples are water, H2O, two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen when combined. Then it forms water. Water is a compound. Then next we have like sodium chloride. Sodium and chlorine. One atom of sodium and another one more atom of chlorine combines and it forms sodium chloride. Then like similarly carbon dioxide. One atom of carbon, two atoms of oxygen. When combined, it forms carbon dioxide. Similarly, potassium hydroxide, KOH, potassium K, one atom of potassium, one atom of oxygen, and one of hydrogen. When it combines, it forms potassium hydroxide, which is a compound. So these are the examples of compound. More related to it, formula, derivation, its calculation of formula, its molecular weight, that we'll be learning in further topics. Next we have mixture. Mixture we all know, like just before we discussed, it's an impure substance. when two or more substances are mixed together randomly, not in a fixed ratio. It's not mixed in a fixed ratio, but it's mixed randomly. Like you take a little bit of salt and get a glass full of water, stir it. Then it forms salt solution. So that's a mixture. Yeah? Like similarly, we take little sugar and then we just get little water. We make the sugar solution. That's a mixture. Maybe like while having your rice, you mix rice, dal, or vegetables, curries, pickle, all those you mix. That's also a mixture. So when two or more substances are brought together in any proportion, not in a fixed proportion, but in any proportion we like, yes, that is called then the new substance formed is then called mixture. There are two types of mixture. They are homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Here, homogeneous mixture is, I think you all know, if the particles, the mixed particles, are not seen clearly through our naked eyes, then such mixture is called homogeneous mixture. And if the mixed particles are clearly seen, like you mix sand in water, or you mix some, you have seen like grains being mixed, yeah, maybe pea, bean. Recently you might have taken kwati, the mixture of different pulses, grains, yes. So that's a mixture. So if the mixed particles are clearly seen through our naked eyes, then that mixture is called heterogeneous mixture. But when you dissolve sugar in milk, we cannot see after it's dissolved, we cannot see sugar particles in the milk. It's dissolved, it's mixed. We cannot see through our naked eyes. So such mixture is then called homogeneous mixture. These are the types of mixture. In further lessons, like we have a separate lesson named mixture, over there we'll be learning again about what is mixture, what are the types, the methods of separation of mixture. Next topic now. Next topic we have is atom. Just before we discussed about elements, and there we learned like elements are the type of substances, the pure substances, which are made up of only one kind of atom we discussed. So what is atom then? So let's discuss here a little bit about atom. What are atom? You can see the things in the surrounding. As we said, all the things are made up of matter. Yeah, they consist of some atoms. If you just go on checking the finest particle, like you are sitting in home, yeah, then you check the walls, you check the flats, you check the wall, you just check each and every material using which the home was made, the house was made. Yeah, by using those materials, the house was made. Maybe the bricks, maybe the sand particles. Now you go to the finest particle, even that finest sand particle, if you check, that is also made up of atoms. Not only that, see, that consists of thousands of atoms, millions of atoms. And not only that, you see the things in the surrounding, whether it's living or it's non-living. You can see the living things in the surrounding. Even they are also made up of atoms. You might say that living things, they are made up of cells. Of course, cells are there. Finally, when we just go on starting on absorbing the finest particle of cell, they are also composed of atoms. And atoms means, see, now what is atom then? Atom is that smallest particle, the finest, the smallest particle, yeah, which can never be further broken down into any other parts. It's the word that's been derived from Greek word atomos, we say, and it means indivisible. Atomos, it means indivisible. That atom can now never be further divided into any other particles. That is called atom. So how can we define atom? Is the smallest particle of an element, the smallest particle of a substance, which cannot be divided into further other substances, and like you can also remember, which takes part in chemical reactions. These atoms, they take part in chemical reactions. So the simple definition of atom is, it is the smallest particle of an element which can take part in chemical reaction. So this is atom. Now atom, they may or may not be capable of independent existence. They may or may not exist freely in nature. Some like inert gases or noble gases, we say. Yeah, as we go on learning all these topics related to it, you'll be much more clear about these topics. So some gases like noble gases, we say helium, neon, xenon, krypton. These gases, they can exist freely in nature. But most of them, like maybe oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, these, they exist in molecular form. Yeah, they do not exist in independent form. You can see some examples of atom, like hydrogen atom, H, sodium atom, Na, potassium atom, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, all these different elements are there. The single component, the finest component of every element is atom. So this is about atom. And next now we have is molecule. Now, you just another topic we have molecule. So what is molecule is then, see, when two or more atoms combine, one atom and another atom, two or more atoms, when they combine, it forms a molecule. Okay, it forms a molecule, like one hydrogen atom and another hydrogen atom combines and it forms a molecule, that is hydrogen molecule. Similarly, oxygen and one more oxygen, it combines and it forms oxygen molecule. Yeah, so similarly we have different other examples: chlorine, oxygen molecule, chlorine molecule, or maybe water, two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen combine and it forms water molecule. One atom of carbon and two atoms of oxygen, it combines and form carbon dioxide molecule. You can just check few examples here. We can define molecule as a smallest particle, the smallest particle of an element or a compound. It can be the smallest particle of an element or a compound that exists freely in nature. Or as we said before, when two or more atoms combine, that is also called as molecule, and that is the smallest particle of the element or compound. And it can exist freely in nature. The examples are here, like hydrogen molecule, oxygen molecule, chlorine, water molecule, carbon dioxide molecule, and sulfuric acid, like this. See, in case of sulfuric acid, there are two atoms of hydrogen, one atom of one atom of sulfur, and four atoms of oxygen. So this is molecule. So atom and molecule. So about these few terms we learned. Now next, very important one is structure of an atom. Just before we studied what is atom. Now atom is also composed of various particles in it. So what are they? About it we are going to study. Structure of an atom. So what you have in structure of an atom, see, an atom consists of various other particles in it. Yeah, we said that atom is the smallest particle. Yeah, but that atom also consists of some other fundamental particles in them. They are called subatomic particles. You can just check here. The three subatomic particles are protons, electrons, and neutrons. The three subatomic particles are there, present in atom. They are protons, electrons, and neutrons. So you can see the structure of an atom here. See, the protons and neutrons. It's present at the center, in the nucleus. You can just check over here. This is the nucleus. In the nucleus, proton and neutron are present. The red colored ones, these are protons, and the blue colored ones, these are neutrons. And this is the nucleus. These are present in the nucleus. And you can see this round one, circular orbit, just like orbit. These are called orbit, or we can also say them as cell, S-H-E-L-L, cell. And electrons, these electrons revolve around the nucleus in this fixed path, that is called orbit, or we can say cell. Now next we have details about protons. You can just check here. Protons are the positively charged particles. These are among those three. This is one of the subatomic particles. So protons we have. Protons are the positively charged particles. They have positive charge in them. And as you saw before in the picture, they are located at the center in nucleus. So its location is, it is located in nucleus of the atom. And its symbol, proton, we denote it by P plus. Proton, we denote it by P plus, positively charged. Okay, it's positively charged, we denote it by P plus. And next we have the mass of a proton is equal to 1 atomic mass unit, or 1 AMU of, like, it is equal to the mass of one hydrogen atom. Hydrogen atom, it has 1 proton and 0 number of neutrons. Here we'll learn again about atomic mass. So its the atomic mass, the mass of the protons, it's compared as it's equal to 1 AMU, and it is equal to the mass of one hydrogen atom. Now next we have neutrons. Neutrons are neutral. You can check here. Neutrons are electrically neutral. You can say they are chargeless particles. They have no charge. They are chargeless particles, and they are also located in nucleus of the atom. And it's denoted, neutrons, they are denoted by N0, N0, 0. Yeah, they are chargeless particles. And of course, like their mass of a neutron is also nearly equal to the mass of a proton. What is the mass of, the mass of a neutron is nearly equal to the mass of a proton. You can just check here, its mass is almost equal. Then next we have electrons. Here, electrons, they are the negatively charged particles. So protons are positively charged, neutrons are chargeless, and electrons, these are negatively charged particles, and we denote it by E minus. And we have already said like they revolve around the nucleus, remaining in a fixed path, fixed orbit, that is called, we call it as cell. And when we talk about the mass of these electrons, it's very light. It's very, very light. So it's around, 1837 times less than the mass of a proton. Its mass is very, very negligible, very, very light. So it keeps on revolving around the nucleus of the atom. So these three are the main parts of the particles of the atom. You can just check here, short review. Fundamental particles are here. Protons, its symbol is P+, charge, positive charge, +1. Location is located in nucleus. Its relative mass is 1 AMU. Similarly of neutrons, symbol is N0, and then 0 is its charge, or its chargeless, located in nucleus. Relative mass nearly equal to that of proton, so 1. And electrons, E minus is its symbol, negatively charged, and its location is in cell, and it's 1/1837 of the mass of the protein. That means its mass is very, very less, around 1837 times lesser than that of proton. So this is a short view. Now what is atomic mass unit? We use the term AMU. AMU means atomic mass unit. As I've already said, atom is the smallest particle, the finest particle. That's not visible through not visible at all through naked eyes, like even through strong microscope only these are visible. Now the atom is itself very smaller. Now its particles which are present in that smallest particle atom, of course they will be much more smaller and smaller. So measuring their mass in other units, like we learned gram, milligram, microgram, it may not be suitable. So to measure, the unit given is atomic mass unit. You can see here, because the masses of atoms and subatomic particles are so small, convenient unit to use is atomic mass unit. And you can see the relation, 1 AMU is equals to, 1 atomic mass unit is equals to 1.6605 into 10 to the power minus 24 grams. You can see the relation of 1 AMU. It's very, you can see the relation. This is about atomic mass unit. Now, few more topics we have. It is atomic number. Now, atomic number means, you can simply understand, the total number of protons. We learned about protons, electrons, neutrons just before. So what's the number of protons present in an atom? That gives us the atomic number of that atom. So you can say the number of protons or electrons. Okay, number of protons and electrons in an atom is always equal. Please note this, remember, the number of protons and the number of electrons is always equal in an atom. That's why an atom is electrically neutral. An atom is chargeless, because like if it has 10 number of protons and also it has 10 number of electrons, that means 10 positively charged particles, 10 negatively charged particles, then it's equal. So they cancel each other's effect. That's why an atom is electrically neutral. So that's why we say the total number of protons or electrons present in a neutral atom is called as atomic number. So we can just get the formula. Atomic number is denoted as Z. Its symbol is capital Z. Is equals to number of protons equals to number of electrons. Next topic we have atomic mass. Now it's very simple. Atomic mass means it's the mass. See, when we say about mass, the amount of matter contained in a body is called mass. Yes, mass means amount of matter contained in a body. Like you go to buy some vegetables, different types of vegetables, fruits. Then in a basket you brought apple, potato, maybe this orange, mango, whatever. So if you have to find its mass, then what you have to do? You just measure its total mass, maybe 5 kg, 6 kg and all. So similarly, atom's mass is atomic mass. Yes, so mass of the atom. Then how do we find it then? What is the mass of proton, electron, neutron? That gives us the atomic mass. But what you have to remember is, as I've already said, electrons have very negligible amount of mass. It's very less, very less. That's why to calculate atomic mass, we simply consider number of protons and number of neutrons. Number of protons P plus number of neutrons. This gives us the total atomic mass of an atom. You can check here, atomic mass equals to number of protons plus number of neutrons. So here we have in class 7 you have already studied about these 20 elements. Today a little bit about these 20 elements. Let's recall the first 20 elements of periodic table. You must remember this. You might have remembered, you might have by hearted all from like hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium in class 7 as well. So here we are going to learn more about it. What's the number of protons, number of electrons, number of neutrons, and also we are going to calculate its atomic mass. You can check here the 20 elements. These are 10 and remaining 10 are here along with the symbol of each element. Atomic number is just like the serial number considered 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 20. It's atomic number. Then after we have number of protons. As I've already said, atomic number is equals to number of protons or electrons. That's why you can see here atomic number is equals to 1 of hydrogen, that of electrons, protons, it's also equal to 1. Now we have number of neutrons. This is separately given over here. This we have to remember. We have a special technique to remember the number of neutrons. Right now, okay, a little bit I would like to explain you about this technique. How can we remember the number of neutrons? Just to remember, previously, what was like before we are getting a new area of Nepal is just previously old area that we considered 147,181. Just you remember this term, kilometer square. Remember this term. See, hydrogen. If you remember those 20 elements, you remember this as, consider this as in the form of this atomic number. Atomic number 1 is hydrogen, 4 is hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, 7 is nitrogen, and 18 is argon. Just a small trick to remember number of neutrons so that you can easily calculate atomic mass. We have already said atomic mass is equals to P plus N. We can easily remember P, its atomic number. So how do we remember N? I've already said the whole area of Nepal like this, 147,18, and 1 is hydrogen itself. So what you have to remember, you can just check in the slide, like hydrogen, except of hydrogen, beryllium, nitrogen, and argon. What you have to do is, if it's even, like you can see of helium, it's even number 2. So you can see here, the number of neutrons is also 2. Even, same, and if it's odd, you can just note it, remember it. If the atomic number is even, its number of neutron is same. 2, 2, 4. 4, its 4 is exceptional, so we don't consider 4. 6, 6, 8, 8, 10, 10. You can cross-check there. If it's 10, you can just check of 10. Neon, atomic number is 10. You can check the number of neutrons. It's 10 here. 10, 10, 12, 12, 14, 14, 16 atomic number, then number of neutrons also 16. 18, 18 is exceptional. 18 is not 18 but 22. You can check here. 18 is 22. Similarly, if it's even, it's same, number of neutrons is same. But if it's odd, then we add plus 1. We add plus 1 if it's odd. If once again check here, like if it's hydrogen, hydrogen is exceptional. Of course, it's odd number, 1, atomic number is 1. Yes, but it's 0. As I've already said, this comes under exception. Then after 3, if it's 3, then its number of neutrons is 4. 3 plus 1, 4. You can see a 5. 5 plus 1, it should be 5 plus 1, beryllium 5. Beryllium is exceptional. Yes, you can see a 5. Then after here, nitrogen, nitrogen exceptional 7. 9 you can see, 9 plus 1, 10. And next we have 11. 11 plus 1, 12. Similarly, just a simple technique if you remember, you can easily calculate atomic mass. And that's going to be very, very useful. These are simple like alphabets of chemistry. First of all, you should know the element's name, symbol, atomic number, proton, electron, neutron. And then we go on calculating more related to it. Now, you can just check the atomic mass, P plus N. So I think you enjoyed the class. So today, we learned about different things related to matter. We'll learn more about it in further classes to come. That's all for today. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.